They're doing little bitch shit to try to play me out. They took my last white beanie, which I look a lot better in than with this one. They do stuff to my clothes in the mail, and my parents are using a superficial excuse to get me to not check my own mail. Yeah, that's how far they're going with this. So yes, I was drugged, leading me up to go to the psych ward, given a bad batch of weed, right? Leading up to going to the psych ward. And I've been treated unfairly. And so, Lord, please help them see the wisdom and the truth in my words, and help me redeem myself to you, as I have not been completely true to you in the past, and I seek to wash my sins and my errors away. Help the world see that I am who I say that I am, the top martial artist in American history. Remove all arrogance from my heart, and let me tell the truth with humility, so that you may be glorified, and the truth in my works may be seen by all. Help me break through APEP and be a light to the world as you want me to be. A lesser light that glorifies you, but is greater than all the minions of Satan put together. Please, Lord, give me the strength that only you can, so that all glory goes to you, and we defeat the minions of the devil. You guys thought I was playing. I wasn't. 15 hits, motherfuckers. My reach. I'm almost 6'5", about 6'4.5". About 84-inch reach. The wingspan. I have transferable skills with the machete, the Chinese broadsword. Not too good with the samurai sword, because it is very different, sort of like a ball and chain. But I'm sure if I used it for long enough and took practice with it, I would be very good with that as well. When it comes to transferable skills that will allow me to win and outmaneuver, I have displayed them. Spinning, circular, evasive spins, away from strikes, masterfully. Defense, masterfully. I have displayed the technique. I have displayed the timing. I have displayed the agility, the dexterity, the speed. 15 hits in 1.2 to 1.3 seconds from Deontay Wilder's boxing range. In 1.2 to 1.3 seconds. Remember that. Lightning, large, blue, karate/taekwondo sparring gloves on. I deserve my rightful place. Who moves the way I move? Who embodies the spirit the way I do? Who has the spirit, the armor of God? To not glorify me is to not glorify God. To deny me my rightful place is to attempt to deny God. And that is satanic and wise Hopian thought. It is beneath Chukwu Emeka. And I will have no part of that nonsensical bull. You are the H, Hades, Hitler, 88, the 8. You want to stop the 7 from eating the 9 by being the controlled opposition 9 and creating a fence to stop the 7 from eating 9. But you will fail. You will not rush the gates of heaven, but Jesus will return and we will rush you. What do you think will happen when the Christians find out that I'm the good guy and you're all a bunch of fucking scum? What the fuck happens then? Just because I do not believe in violence because of chapter 2 of this book, I have 3 copies and I've given away 5. $60 book, mind you. More or less, add shipping. Just because chapter 2 says bloodless duels to page like 74, it's like 50 something to 74. Bloodless duels. It is an abomination to shed blood to the earth mother. Hey, I'll read it for you. Doesn't mean you can walk all over me and I'm not going to bust you out for your treachery. But yes, I don't believe in violence, and that's why I have no violent criminal history. Page 73 Second to last paragraph, we'll start there. In contrast, at least to the pacifistic, unarmed martial art tradition of Biafra, the martial arts of Simbabeja were based on potentially bloody forms of pugilism. Mastery of the fighting stick was necessary for males not only to dominate their cattle, but also to retain respect among their peers. Foot fighting, however, looked to the ancestral realm for inspiration. Thus, in these two regions, unique historical contexts gave birth to quite distinct approaches to combat. As radically different as they were technically, when practiced as martial ways, both Umba and Ngola served similar social functions. When mastery of Umba was combined with adherence to a larger code of conduct, the great wrestler could attain the highest of all honors by becoming a transcendent hero. Okay, so that's page 73. I'm going to go to 67. So you see how there's a deep contrast. The violence of Ngolo, which included headbutting, stick fighting, and foot fighting. Conflict resolution, page 67. I don't know how well you can read it. I apologize if you can't read it that well. I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it in the next video. Wrestling among Biafrans could be used as a form of conflict resolution. Such wrestling can be viewed in a continuum of combat forms among the Igbo. Remember, we throw them to the ground, okay, for spiritual reasons. We don't wrestle on the ground. The most dangerous was Aga, or Ogu, Egbu, Ebe, Isi, in which machete blades, firearms, and even spiritual weapons were used. Such weapons were prohibited in the more frequent Ogu Okpiri between groups thought to be related. Wrestlings could be seen as the safest form of conflict. The importance of the practice in this continuum was the fact that drawing blood of a relative or clan member was an abomination against Anna, the Earth Mother. So there are bloodless duels because shedding blood was an abomination. It has to do with the land. And since I am an African American, shedding blood senselessly without just cause in accordance with sacred morality, which is a lot more deep than the law, perhaps, is one way to look at it. It certainly is more deep. Is an abomination culturally, religiously, spiritually. And of course, the Virgin Mary was pure in more than one way. She had never shed anyone's blood. It's an abomination to the Mother Mary, if you will, as well as her son. Thou shalt not kill, turn the other cheek. He corrected Peter. So you can see the continuity of the Afro-Asiatic culture in Egypt, Nubia, Angola, with the Kunini people, the Igbo people, the Edo, the Ija, the Hausa, the Fulani, the Yoruba, Amhara, Oromo, and so on, from Ethiopia, and so on. So think about it. We've covered Sudan, Ethiopia, Angola, Nigeria, Niger. Between the Nile and the Niger River, east of the Niger, west of the Nile, southwest of the Nile, you have the Igbo, Biafran people, who have the continuity, who were late to become Christian, right? The Fulani and the Hausa were already Muslims, and so was a lot of small tribes next to them. The Igbos didn't become Christians officially as in large numbers until later. So we kept the continuity of the martial arts traditions in their forms, same as the Zulus and many other of our brothers. So yes, we have the best of both worlds, so to speak. Christianity, the best religion, and then we have the martial art traditions of great warriors. And God did not allow us to fall victim to the Islamic push into Africa, and we are still Christians to this day. And I'm the top martial artist, not someone of any other race. I have nothing but love for Muslims. I consider myself a Christian and a Muslim in many ways because they overlap in many ways. The philosophies, the religions, the peoples, and it is different perspectives of God. But I believe Christianity is the ultimate realization that one must come to in order to make that final step. You must understand from a Christian perspective why Muhammad was right, why Buddha was right, why all these people were right, and why they were wrong. Because nobody is perfect. You must come to a Christian perspective or you do not enter the gates of heaven. That does not mean you have to wear a cross or call yourself a Christian. But on the highest level of enlightenment, there is a Jesus kind of Christian state of mind. You do not become Jesus' equal. You do not become God, but you join the Spirit of God. Sort of like someone in the audience, a child joins the audience during a martial art match in an Igbo village where the spirit of ancestors is felt, or joining the congregation at a church. You do not become the same as a saint. There is a hierarchy in heaven, like it or not. When you read Revelations, it makes that clear. They mention specifically, this is for the blood of the saints. This is for this. This is for this. This is why they're suffering. Read the Revelation and read between the lines.